Hey, what's up guys and gals? My name is Rick9G. Today we're going to be talking about the Three Stooges, more specifically about their 67th entry in the series released by Columbia Pictures. Now there's a total of 190 shorts. I'm going through from 1 all the way to 190. We're at number 67. This one that I'll cover today is called They Stooge the Conga. Now it's the first one of a bulk of shorts that will come out between 1943 and 1944. I would categorize these as fairly controversial because they have a lot of things that today may be seen as offensive, and I want to talk about them. I want to get right into them and let you know what is crazy about these episodes, with this one being one of those. Now, this is the third Stooge short where Moe plays a parody of Schicklgruber. The first two of them with Moe playing Moe Hailstone as the Schicklgruber parody role in both You Were Nasty Spies and its sequel I'll Never Heil Again, neither of which had any connection to this third short. So I showed you the images of those, which I did cover, and as I mentioned, none of them are really connected. They Stooge the Conga was filmed between May 6th and the 9th, 1942, and of course the title is a parody of the 18th century play She Stoops to Conquer. Now it was released January 1st, 1943, and as I mentioned, the first of 43 all the way to 44, where we have very controversial shorts. Now these are some of the reasons why. Now I'm going to list a lot of the violent moments. It's seen as one of the most violent Stooge shorts, but to be honest with you, there's so much more violent stuff on TV. I mean, look at The Walking Dead. They don't censor that at all, and they censor the Three Stooges when they put it in reruns. The first that you'll see is when they enter the house, that is the Stooges. Moe and Larry enter the house at the same time. They're wedged in the doorway and get thrust out when Curly comes up from behind with the point of his anvil, using it as a gouge. Also, Curly's pulling a wire out of the wall. He pulls out a ringing telephone. He answers it and says, "This line is busy," throws it away, hitting Moe in the head. Now, Moe throws it back, trying to get back at him. It hits Curly in the head, and Moe smiles about this. Moe also pulls through the wall by Larry and Curly. An actual 2x4 made of solid wood crashed onto Moe's neck, and it did injure him, which is fairly surprising. So that shot did actually injure him. Also, if you continue, Moe twists Curly's nose with a tool and uses a grinding wheel to file it back into shape. There's a lot more. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 that I counted, and these are all things having to do with being electrocuted, others with them getting zapped, getting charged by a battery, electrical wiring shorts, being hit by the hammer. I mean, this is the Stooges. One of the biggest ones, though, is when they're climbing a telephone pole. Curly's on top. He has the spike shoes to spike into the telephone pole, and one of them goes into Moe's eye. Remember, it was made out of rubber, didn't really go into Moe's eye, but they actually censor that, saying that it is too violent to be shown on television. Could you believe that? A little secret here about Moe. There was a part where they were trying to pull Moe through the wall, and actually all the way, and they were having trouble doing it. So what did they do? He was a full-grown man and there was weight to him, so they actually weakened the wall and the wood that was inside of it. They then replastered the wall and pulled him through, and it came out great on screen. Now you may notice that in this short, it's the second time Curly says the word sabotage, of course mispronouncing the word sabotage. If you want to know the first time, you have to go back to 1942 in the short Loco Boy Makes Good. Now, it's the first appearance of Christine McIntyre, who is very, very popular in the Stooge shorts, especially in the Shemp era, which we are closely approaching. But in this one, she's a female telephone customer that you see on screen very briefly, as well as a very, very young Lloyd Bridges, who makes an appearance as another telephone customer. Here he is. Now, I didn't even give you a quick summary of the short because there's so much to talk about here. Now, the Stooges are, of course, incompetent as always, and they're repairmen here trying to fix a doorbell of a large house, which they don't know, but it's the secret headquarters of a Nazi agent or Nazi agents headed by the ruthless Hans, and Hans is played by Vernon Dent, of course, who makes a big appearance in this short. Now, the Stooges managed to disembowel not only the wiring of the walls, they completely destroyed most of the house, but they also confused the city telephone wiring system by making it go all crazy. But Moe and Larry save the day when they subdue Hans and his Japanese group of friends. They assume their wardrobes, emulating them, and they sink their submarine by remote control, which is a hilarious scene. And they trap the spies, and the Stooges proceed to beat them all up, which is a perfect way of having American propaganda against both the Germans and the Japanese. Again, that was very patriotic at the time, and it was seen if you didn't do that, you were on the enemy side. So the Stooges did what they had to do. They were patriotic men, and they did their part in the war effort by promoting the Allies' side. So this has to be taken into consideration when looking at this short. Now, you know, I never say the H word when I talk on YouTube or even with the Stooges. That's very important because it's actually banned to be said on YouTube. But the name Schicklgruber is actually used, and I use that instead. Now, Schicklgruber, in case you don't know, is important because it's H's mother's maiden name, and it's a way to make fun of him, and the Stooges use that exclusively and never refer to him as Mr. H. They always refer to him as Schicklgruber as a way to make fun of him, and essentially it makes these episodes and shorts so great. Now, if you notice the model, the little miniature submarine that was used in this footage, it's also used in a previous Stooge short that I did cover called Little Three So-and-Sos. Now, if you are a big fan of aviation like I am, you will see the patrol planes that are shown in the wide shots. Well, those are pre-World War II biplanes, that is planes with double wings. But when you switch to a close-up where you see the pilot doing the double take, the cockpit is actually correct to World War II. So there were two different planes that were used for the shots, which there's an inconsistency there. It is a blooper. Because of copyright, I can't share the audio with you or this video will get demonetized, but this is important to know. It's a big blooper. Now, when Curly calls Larry over and says to help him with the trouble that he's having with the wiring, he actually is supposed to say, "Give me a hand," but he makes a mistake and he doesn't say that, and he says, "Give me a help," which doesn't make any sense. Give me a help. He says, "Give me a hand." But the Stooges are ditzy and a bit incompetent, so I guess it works, but no, it's a blooper. Now check this one out. You can see a crew member's hand on the right side of the screen. I'll point it out to you as the bowl of cake batter is being tossed on the cook's head. Really funny to see that, and I'm so happy that I could catch it for you. And it is no surprise that you can see the wires holding the submarine, and you can see the vertical splash marks from the wire in front of the sub as well. Take a look at this episode. I think you will really like it. Episode/short. It's really good. It's really interesting. Yes, it is controversial. It does have some moments that people don't like, but I think it makes it interesting. It's a part of history with snapshot in time, and I think the cheesiness is fun. And of course, making fun of Schicklgruber, who doesn't like that? So I hope you enjoy this. We'll continue with the next Stooge short, inching closer to Shemp, but when we get to Shemp, there's no more Curly, so let's enjoy Curly while we have him as I go through these shorts, and then we'll continue with Shemp and finally finish with Joe Besser. We'll see you all next time, guys and gals. Thank you so much for the support. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. So many of you are subscribed, but a lot more of you watch and support me so much, but you're not subscribed. It's absolutely free to do so, so I don't know why you have not subscribed. It does help my channel out so much, and if people subscribe, that's one of the only ways that allows me to keep making these videos. So thank you so much for doing so, and most importantly, be hopeful. Thank you so much to all my supporters, especially my Diamond tier patrons: Jerry D, Citizen Kane 359, Jennifer P, David D, Kevin K, Sally Ann, and Vito L. If you want to be on this list, make sure to check out my Patreon description in the link below. Thank you so much again.